Hello everyone, this is VJose32 back again, and this is What's on Deck. And this week you can actually see what is on deck because I made a change. I have decided to try something different. Of course, last week I had some issues since I started using Linux Mint as opposed to Windows. I was not able to find any good screen capture software. The ones that I did try seemed to either not want to work properly or freeze the computer, so I said screw it. I recorded a webcam video last week instead, and that didn't work out exactly too well. Apparently the audio wasn't so good. So I'm going to be recapping a little bit of last week's this week as well. Let's start off with what's on Kickstarter. First of all, I want to mention this one, the Bicycle Blank Backs and All Blanks from Home Run Games has been canceled. Not a big surprise. Ironically, 52 backers, as somebody pointed out. It was hopeless to begin with. Moving on, though. Bicycle Gluttony, which is from Collectible Playing Cards. Currently, about 57% funded. 18 days to go. It's just a matter of time, I do believe. It's pretty interesting looking. Completely custom. Faces, backs, everything. As you can see, USB-C printed. It definitely looks like a couple of other decks they've released in the past. Particularly, I think the Bicycle Essence, and I forget what else. Court cards, as you can see, even the front of the box, are obese or overweight. It's just fine. It's fun. It's different, unique, nice back design, simple, but similar to some of the previous ones that they've done, as you can see right there. Fun court cards. I do recommend checking it out. So make sure you do that. Let's move on. And this was something I mentioned last week, but I didn't get to show you it, so now you get to see it. And you can see more on the project grids. Nice, completely custom faces, as you can see. It's got suit indicators in the opposite corners there. Pretty interesting. Next up, we got the Pepe playing cards, which is 0% funded, 32 days to go. Do not see this one doing well. It's apparently based on some kind of a meme or emoji, whatever you want to call them, which is based on a frog. I'm guessing Kermit is the #1 fan of Pepe, or vice versa. Apparently it features 54 of the best Pepes of all rarity. That to me tells me it's not exactly original or even possibly photoshopped. At the very least, the back design is interesting because it's a 4-way fanning deck, but that's about it. I couldn't really recommend this one if I wanted to. Plus, I have no idea who's producing this or anything like that, but that's what you get. Which is why it's not doing so well. Not much to it. Next up, Pitman Shadow Edition. The other Pitman decks were funded. They did not reach the goal, stretch goal for the Shadow Edition, which you see right here, so they launched a second project for it. At this point, with $9,000, they could have just added it on to the original project and said, you know what, we're going to unlock that one, and they would have gotten more than enough funding for it, but it is what it is. Not 100% sure if it's going to be fulfilled at the same time as the others. Let me see if they responded to my comment. Yes, okay, so the intention is to have everything shipped at the same time. These ones, of course, have black faces and black backs, as opposed to the standard red and black ones from the previous project. Colorful, fun, as you can see. The colors really pop on the black back, or the black faces. These ones are going to have some differences from the other ones. Printed by Legends with the diamond finish. I think the other one might have had a different finish. Only 1,000 being produced. Shiny UV gloss ink on the face of the tuck box. Bold black faces. Silver foiled numbered seal. Interior printing in the tuck cases. And different jokers. So why not? It's pretty awesome. I'm not sure if you can actually add on the black and red versions, but you can get them. It's listed. There's a link to get them. Would make sense. Oops. They don't have the other decks for add-ons, but you can get them anyway. Moving along, talking about this one. This one is from last week. I didn't get to show you it. I wanted to show you really quickly the Inglewood hunting deck. It's definitely unique and interesting. It does not have standard pips or suits. It doesn't even have standard indexes. This has a number or letter in the index. Uh, it's based on some of the oldest European playing cards. Back when the cards actually arrived in Europe, they experimented with different suits and whatnot, and some of them were animal themed in Germany, I should say, and this is inspired by that. Each suit is based on a different animal. Printed by MPC, so you get the deer, the hounds, the hawks, and the pheasants. There's your aces, or ones, I guess you could say. Tens actually have an X, and they're banners. And then the court cards, jacks, queens, and kings, actually feature people with the animal in question. Yeah, they're pretty interesting. I got no concerns with the artwork or anything like that. I think it's definitely unique. Here you see the number cards. They feature a bunch of different animals. And what on earth? Is that doggy style? That's what it looks like. It looks like doggy style there, and the other dogs are watching. But you can see it features, 7 dogs or hounds for the 7 of hounds, and 2 birds for the 7 of birds, or 2 hawks for the 2 of hawks, etc., etc. So, it's usable to some extent. More of a collection piece, I would think. Here you see the back design. It's not bad, pretty simple. Bridge size, I believe it is, printed by MPC, and that's what it is. It's only 600-pound goal. They surpassed it. It's funded, and 17 days to go. Pittman Sad, of course, is funded. 11 days to go. It's only a 2-week project. It's another one I wanted to address here very quickly. The Raven playing cards from Raven Magic and Stockholm 17. 13 days left. It's doing pretty good. They're trying to hit the stretch goal for the Petrol Green deck. And in the process, they have released mini decks, which are going to be the same as the standard one, except, of course, mini-sized, produced by MPC. I'm not sure where they are. That's just a prototype. I'm not sure where the mini deck is pictured, but it's here somewhere. It's available as an add-on right there. There it is, mini deck. About $10 each. Shipping is included. Or if you get 6 or more decks, you actually get it free with your order. So that's a nice way to reward people. But I think it's also nice that they're allowing people to add it on, unlike some previous Stockholm 17 projects. At least one in particular where I was thrilled with the idea that you had to spend a whole bunch of money in order to get a mini deck added on. It's nice that they were adding it on free, but I would have preferred to have been able to add it on myself and support the project a little bit more, as opposed to having to get a whole bunch of decks I didn't want just to get. But I'm glad to see it's not the case with this project. What is the stretch goal for the Petrol deck here? Petrol deck is at 250,000 SEK, which is about $30,000. And they are currently at 180,000 SEK. So there's still a ways to go, and we'll see if it happens. Moving along, Ink Spot Cat playing cards, and I apologize if the video is a bit long, of course, in advance. This one is funded, 25 days to go. I really cannot encourage backing a project that has a 200-pound goal. It's just ridiculously low. I think pretty much any project can fund with a goal that low. If it had a 1,500-pound goal, 2,000-pound goal, this will not likely fund. It's a pretty odd deck. It's just ink spots with cat faces. I do like that it has 4 indexes, and that they actually have a border on the indexes that are within the artwork, so that you can actually see it. But aside from that, it's just ink spots. And I think it would have been best if they just had them on the court cards as opposed to every single card. The tuck cases look like they were hand-drawn, a little bit goofy, but they're fine. I have no idea what the back design looks like. if it's what you see here or what it is, but so far I'm not a fan of that, if that is a bad design. Um, and that's it. And it just looks like handmade tuck cases, and no idea who's producing it. Couldn't recommend it, really. Foil playing cards from Jason Nguyen is back yet again. This one is about 21% funded with 21 days to go, and it does not bode well for its success. In fact, it has a greater chance of being canceled than actually funding or even getting to the end of the project, because that's how Jason rolls. Jason will launch a project, a week or two later he'll cancel it, then maybe he'll relaunch it, then he'll cancel it, then he'll shut down his account, then he'll create a new account, launch another project, and it's a continuous cycle of ridiculousness. And at this rate, he's only hurting himself more and more because he just keeps canceling and relaunching stuff. He's had like 3 or 4 accounts now on Kickstarter. He's been Ideal playing cards. He's been Blueprint playing cards. He's had under his name, which this is again, and it's just it's only hurting because he just keeps. I mean, personally, the way I see it is, how can anyone support a person, a creator, who keeps canceling the projects and can't even stand behind their own work? And then there's this questionable behavior on eBay where he sold a couple of prototypes, and is pretty obvious when it's getting into the hundreds or even thousands of dollars that he was upping the value himself, and there was another account that was continuously repledging to boost the value, and that's just all really questionable, and I don't think I could support this guy. And it also hurts with the majority of the community when he has basically turned the other cheek and decided not to take anyone's advice, anyone's criticisms or ideas, and he just ignores everyone. So they ignore him. That's all it is. Moving on, Spirit Dragon playing cards and book by Jessica Feinberg and other rare spectral creatures. Again, very well funded from her, and 11 days left. She has no problem funding her projects, and by all accounts, no problem delivering or anything like that, which is great. We could always use more creators like her. This one I actually mentioned last week, but I couldn't show it to you, so I wanted to show you. Here you see the back design, a nice, really nice, cool blue color, and it's mirror image for Jane's. I like that, but I'm not particularly a fan of these faces. If I was backing her projects, I would have 10 decks with dragon faces and backs, and it just seems like it's excessive. I wouldn't mind seeing her get out of her creative comfort zone and try something that is completely different, and hopefully get even more support behind her projects as opposed to just doing dragons. I know it works for her. She's funding projects, she's making money, she's supporting herself financially, and that's great. But why not do something else completely different? It would not hurt to try something different. That's all I'm saying. Moving along. I mentioned this one last week as well, and even the week before. Dynasty playing cards from Brandon Hong. It is currently 87% funded, 18 days to go. He's done work with Kingswell before. This is his first solo project. Very cool, different. I haven't gotten really to show you. Actually, I probably saw you 2 weeks ago quickly. So I just figured I would show you them again. They're very nice, completely custom. Definitely go check them out. Surprisingly, there's still early birds or single decks left of the Premium Imperial Red Dynasty. Somehow. But that is that. Go check it out. Next up, Cross Realms Fantasy Themed Deck. It is 85% funded and 26 days to go. It's just a matter of time, I do believe. This is a relaunch. They previously had this deck, and there's an old naked guy on there for some reason. I don't even want to see that. But it's very much a fantasy deck, custom suits, not something that'd be in the interest of a lot of collectors or magicians or anything like that. More for people who are into fantasy games. And pretty simple back design. We don't want to see a drunken naked dwarf anyway. It is what it is. If you're interested, go check it out. Next, everyone's favorite man, except mine, Trump. Trump playing cards, and it's not by Donald Trump. It's by Justin Goldeski. It is not doing well. 2% funded, 27 days to go. I do not see it funding, not with a $15,000 goal. He's created this as kind of a gag or gift deck, but he's not priced it for that. I mean, you can get gag decks at like a dollar store. I wouldn't pay more than $5 for like a gag or a gift deck or anything like that. And he wants $15 for a deck. I have not seen any images of the back design. These are going to be produced by NPC if they fund, although he has, he's not against going with USBC or Legends if he gets more funding, but $15,000, I think it's more than enough to get NPC or USBC or Legends. He's got, instead of a heart, he's got cherries or apples, whatever that is. I'm guessing cherries. I don't know why. See him as Washington or as himself. Okay, so he's got Trump as different presidents. Caesar, good heavens. And yeah, it's more cherries for the club pip. Again, I have not seen any back designs. Not a big fan of custom suits like the cherry instead of a heart. And then another thing that's hurting him, will hurt him, is that he's only shipping to the US. That is going to hurt a lot because you only got so many backers in the US. And he's cut out a whole bunch of them because collectors aren't going to be really interested in this. Magicians are not going to be interested in this. Cardists to certs are not interested in this. There's no back design. He doesn't seem to be 100% on who's producing it. He's got a goal that's way too high. He's not shipping internationally. And it's going to hurt him. He's not going to fund. Not at this rate. Moving on, Joker and the Thief, White Gold Edition. Look at that. I'm pretty sure the guy from the Siren deck's not going to be happy because he claims to own the rights to white gold. But whatever. This is from Joker and the Thief. It is currently about 84% funded, 28 days to go. I believe it's a matter of time. Personally, I was going to back this one until I realized it was $22 to ship one deck to Canada. And then I was out of there. I will get it later on from a different website with half the shipping cost. Even if it's a couple bucks more in the cost, I am not going to pay what he's trying to charge. I mean, I was in for this early bird at $14 plus shipping, which is about $10 US, but it's $14 Canadian because it's Australian money. It's the same thing pretty much. And then there was $22 in additional for shipping. That pretty much doubles the cost of the deck. Why the heck would I do that? I'm going to go for the best deal I can find, and this is not it, unfortunately. I do like the deck. I do want it, but not at these rates. I'm not a big fan of the fact that they're using Art of Play and FedEx. I'm not nothing against Art of Play, but it's the FedEx part. You could ship it through USPC for like $10, $12 tops, and you're going to get backers to pay twice as much to ship with FedEx. A lot of international backers are not going to back this, I don't think, because of these prices are too high. Maybe for some, it's not that big of a deal. Depends how much it's going to cost. But for me, it's a no-go. It's a nice deck, nice foil, gold foil throughout. White and gold backs. You can see the difference in the backs there a little bit. Whatever was white on the original deck is now gold in this one. They reversed the colors. Outside of that, it's pretty much the same. They do have gold for the clubs and spades, as opposed to the dark blue or black that they had last time. And that is that. But, I mean, yeah, if you like it, check it out. Especially if you're in the US, you get free shipping. But outside of that, I would wait. Moving along. This one just launched today. It's the Orbital / Primeval deck. It is already funded with 14 days to go. Once again, like I mentioned before, I could not get behind a deck that has a $250 goal because at $250, that is nothing. And you'll end up getting screwed. It's an interesting deck. Interesting concept, I guess. That's the back design you see there. It's got a lot of colors to it. And a lot of white as well. Um, the artwork is okay. Just a lot of weird pictures or weird characters. If you like it, I mean, you can check it out, but I wouldn't recommend a project that has a goal of $250 because that's not going to cover nothing for his expenses. And I don't think that they know what to get into. He's going to be producing this as well by Game Crafter, which I don't think the quality is that good, so take that into consideration as well. But I mean, at least A for effort, he's put in effort drawing stuff and whatnot, so give him that much. He's got where the money's going. 3% towards snacks for him to eat while he's packing up all the decks. 9% to Kickstarter and payment processing fees, and 88% towards card and box manufacturing and shipping. Again, I don't think he's going to be able to cover that. Whatever. He is doing international shipping. If he has a few people that are from overseas backing this, he's going to have some problems with expenses. Moving along, I have to mention this one. Rise of a Nation from Barclay Mountain. Barclay Mountain is Robert Tomlinson. It's currently, let's see how it's doing now. Reload this. It's been here for a while. I want to see how it's doing. It's slowly getting there. $426 out of a $3,300 goal. I wasn't expecting to see this one until Friday, but this morning I was checking out Kickstarter and boom, there it is. Robert Tomlinson has restarted his playing card business now as Barclay Mountain after having issues with his former business partner. We won't get into that. And this is his first deck, part of a series of 3 or 4 decks. Rise of a Nation, obviously patriotic themed. As usual with his historical themed decks, very nice. Reminds me a little bit of Sons of Liberty from Dan and Dave, but it's still completely different. It looks good. He's going to be producing these through WJ Printing in China, which did his previous couple of his previous decks, particularly his last Civil Unrest deck, the what's it called? Whatever, the last Civil Unrest deck he did was through them, and also a different deck he did on his website was through them. Also, I would not recommend doing any business with Tomlinson Playing Card Company because his business partner is probably not with the best intentions with anything right now. I'm not even sure if they're actually still in existence, but whatever. Very nice. I like the tough case. I like the artwork. Definitely 100% behind him. And then there's this, for American backers, an actual crate. So you can actually ship like a Patriot, ship like the old days. Crate made of pine. You can get up to 27, it fits up to 27 decks in there. And they'll deliver that to you, a crate. You can get a crate delivered to you if you're in the US with a whole bunch of decks in there, just one deck. It'll be glued shut, and it comes with a pry bar so that you can open it up just like the old days. I think that's awesome. Once again, he's outdoing himself. Definitely recommend checking this one out. Go support it. Stretch goals, even USPC stretch goal, and a collector version, and more. So go check it out. Next up, I mentioned this one last week, didn't get to show it to you. Dead Decks Dynasty, currently about 87% funded, 16 days to go. I don't get, oh wait, that's the other one. Dead Decks Dynasty, 89%, 16 days to go. Just a matter of time. This is from a guy named Flory. He's apparently an artist. I did send him a message about the back design because I didn't really think it was that cool, but unfortunately, he never bothered to respond. So that tells me a little bit about his communication, perhaps. Maybe, maybe not. It's got red faces, really cool. And the core card's reversible. As you can see, one side's kind of a mummy, the other side's an Egyptian. Completely custom. It's interesting. It's different. If you like it, go check it out. I'm not so sure about the indexes because this one, when I look at it, I think it's a black index, a black suit, but it's actually a diamond, and vice versa for the other ones. But that might just be a minor thing. Maybe if I'm actually using it, it would be different. To be printed by USPC, the back design, not a big fan of. It seems really simple. Just a couple of skulls and a bone, and it's a one-way back design apparently, because I see spades down here and clubs up here. Just a whole bunch of pips. Not a huge fan of that, and not a huge fan of the fact that it's not the same color as the faces. But that's a minor thing. It's still a pretty cool deck. Really nice tuck case. A little bit confusing with the other Dynasty decks that are on Kickstarter at the same time, but it's not the same thing, not the same person. So keep that all in mind. Go check it out. I think it's worth at least checking it out. Look at that. There's actually a pin. That's pretty cool. Definitely unique. Moving on. I know this is taking forever, but let's get on. I'll talk about this one quickly. Star Cluster. New form of playing card deck in genre of game. It's a weird deck. It's got cards from 1 through 16 instead of ace through king. And instead of actually having suits, they just have 4 different colors. And they got a bunch of stars on all the faces. Could be used as a regular deck of cards, obviously. And that's kind of part of the intention. But at the same time, it's not overly attractive. For me, anyways. And apparently there might be a white and a black. I'm not really sure. Haven't been following it. I don't really care that much. The back design you see right there is not too bad, but probably copy and paste or something. It is 5%, 47 days. Lots of time, but it's not going to happen at this rate. Let's move on to a few things that talk about from a United Cardist. I want to talk about this one. You just have to bear with me a second here. By the way, Fancy King Collection, that was canceled as well. I'll mention that quickly. And he sold some of them through GoFundMe. And all he was doing is asking people to pay shipping costs. And there was a couple of idiots. I think they're idiots anyways, because they were giving them $100. Really? You're just going to give a person $100? Give me some money. If you got that much extra money kicking around, I'll make sure it gets a good use. I don't agree with that. We talked about Inception before. Yes. So, first of all, this one's from a while back. Actually from a couple months ago, January. I found this one in January. Inkstance Jinza Itoya. I think it was kind of given away as like a promo thing. You can't buy it anywhere. But this one was just on their website. It looks like I'm going to be getting one. The black version. It's also on eBay apparently for like a lot of money. Here it is. Black rider back. Black faces. A lot of color. Simple court cards. If you're in Japan, you can get it on this Itoya website. If you're not, you're kind of screwed. You have to go to eBay or find somebody in Japan, which I think I did. Anyways, moving along. There's this one, Royal B deck in blue. Apparently it's by USPC for the Asian market. It's kind of odd that you can see, if you look closely, that it looks like there's a bicycle trademark thing on there, which is odd for a B deck, but somebody obviously screwed up. Nice foil on the inside and outside of the tucks. Looks like an interesting finish. Nice back design, borderless. Fairly standard on the faces. Looks like there's some metallic inks on the faces as well. And on the backs, I'm assuming. It's been confirmed that it's official for USPC. Getting them though, I don't know where you can get them aside for maybe finding them on eBay. I Hope to get one eventually. If it's like other decks, I'll find it eventually. Maybe in a few months, whatever. Cardistry Heroes from DeVoe has been released to the general public. Colorful. Check it out if you like it. Then there's this one, a red quality V2 deck available somewhere. Again, I'm not sure where. Not really interested. Apparently produced in Taipei or Taiwan. I guess Taipei is in Taiwan. Similar to Legends and Expert, but apparently the finish is not as nice. So keep that in mind. For me personally, it's just the same thing, printed by a different company. Apparently limited to 2,000. And it is what it is. I'm not a big fan of these really dark court cards as well. Moving along, Oath playing cards coming soon from Lautrec. Formerly known as Half Moon playing cards, now he's simply going to be known as Oath playing cards. Very cool back design so far. So far, so good. Something got X'd out there. Just bear with me. See some of the faces, a little bit standard on the faces. Nice back design. Collector's edition. I've been working on this for a while. It will not be Kickstarter. And it will be available only when it is finished, sealed, and ready to ship. So he's going to produce this, and it'll be available when it is done. And I believe he's no longer going to be working with Kickstarter. He's going to be producing limited edition decks of well under 1,000, exploring new techniques, stocks, and finishes. Metallic inks on both the faces and the backs. Sophisticated but not overloaded tuck case, etc., etc. I like that. Finally, somebody is saying, you know what, the hell with Kickstarter. I'm going to do this myself. He's taking some initiative. He's trying new things. I like it. I wish there was more creators from Kickstarter like him. Moving along, Bicycle Samsara. I mentioned this one last week, I think, but I didn't get to show you. I thought it was going to be launching soon, but it hasn't as of yet. It is from Barry, aka John-Shin Yi, creator of the Bicycle Sky Descender decks. And, you know, it's fine. It's completely custom. It's unique. You got that one. It should be launching any day now. Then again, I said that last week. And then there's Empire Keeper. Dragon cards from Bomb Magic. BombMagic.tw. Only $2 each. And apparently produced by the same company as Expert and Legends, I think. Same printer anyways. It's an interesting back design. It's a nice back design. And it's very nice that it's only $2 each. It's going to be fairly standard. Basically, it says right here on the website. Bicycle cards. You get bicycles from the US. Phoenix backs from Europe. Empire Keeper is going to conquer Asia. We'll see what happens. As you can see, the whole Keeper thing on the tuck case kind of reminds me of the Keeper from Illusionist. Which is kind of weird. But unfortunately, as far as this one's concerned, it's currently out of stock. They are taking pre-orders. Apparently, they will be getting more in April. Another deck they had that I wanted to mention is the Lizard Bomber, if I can find it. There it is. And they had a collective set with a red one for $50. Apparently they will be releasing one April 15th. Seems like they're releasing some every month. But for me, it's too expensive and I'm not interested. I'm getting the blue deck. It's like $8 for the blue deck. But $50 for both of them is overly excessive. It's interesting. But it's not worth that much, I don't think. Just a bomber, I guess, not lizard bomber, whatever. Bomber, lizard bomber. Moving along. A yacht, a bicycle, Utopia, now available from Card Experiment. I mentioned it last week, didn't get to show you them. Pretty interesting. I might have shown you a little bit here and there. They've previously done Utopia playing cards, but it was unbranded. Now it's Bicycle branded. New colors, black and gold, as you can see. It's definitely interesting, and I will get that eventually. One more thing to mention to you. Don't worry about my Facebook. Jam-packed cards. Jam-packed cards has a new deck. This is going to be the last one to tell you about. Actually, second last. Coming soon from Jam-packed cards. I don't know when exactly. Is the Wild West decks, and they're showing here a back design the Lawman back, which looks pretty cool, and King of Spades Wyatt Earp. That's actually not bad now, and I look forward to see what else they got. I'm not sure when it's coming exactly. And then we head over to JP playing cards. And they got somewhere. I'll try clicking this. Duh. Oh, I see they got the Cardistry Heroes. Lux Elliptica playing cards will be available for pre-order sometime within the next week or so, sometime before the end of March. Very nice, as you can see it, to be available in 4 colors. I like it, and I'm definitely taking that. I believe this is again from Randy Butterfield, like his original deck. So that is that. That's what I got. I know it's a bit of a long video, but I had lots to discuss. I wanted to cover some of the stuff from last week that I didn't get to show you. Next week, hopefully, it'll be a lot shorter video. I'll see you next time. See ya.